Welcome to our new series, the 200 Movie Challenge. Our goal this year is to watch 200 movies that we haven't seen yet. If you want to listen to the full podcast where this clip is from, the link will be in the description. Now enjoy today's movie.
So let's move on, Soto. What was the next movie you
Hmm?
decided to watch while I was on vacation?
So I'm big into martial arts movies. I love martial arts movies. I like the big ones. I consider, and this might be a surprise to you, but I consider Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon to be a top 10 movie for me.
I
I
like it.
just feel it's one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. I saw it in film school by myself in the theater, and I just watched it there, and I just was blown away. It was the best movie for me to see at the time in a movie theater because it was just so just beautiful to watch. And so I've always liked martial arts movies that are those big fantasy movies where they're on wires, and I like brutal martial arts movies like Tony Jaa and like Ong Bak and all that. And then I love Donnie Yen. I just love all martial arts. I just think it's one of my favorite genres. Um, so I decided to watch this movie that was recommended to me called Shadow. Came out in 2018. Now, this is directed by the same director as Hero, which had Jet Li, and then also House of Flying Daggers, which is a beautiful movie. Okay. Now, the thing that's in common with both of these movies is that they are some of the most amazingly colored, like just use of color, like gorgeous visual movies that I've ever seen. It's just you see it and it's like the reds are red, the blues are blues. You know, these really grand kind of fantasy martial arts movies. Crouching Tiger wasn't really like that, but it was just over the top. I love House of Flying Daggers, and it's one of my favorite movies that I have in my collection. But the director is Zhang Yimou, I want to say, and I know I'm butchering that. So he made this movie called Shadow, and this movie basically is black and white, and with a very distinct gray palette. It's not technically black and white, but it's so unsaturated and gray that it's pretty much black and white. And I know he's trying to go for. He's trying to make a movie that's just as beautiful, but like kind of in black and white, and like the story is kind of about that too. But I found this movie to be confusing, boring.
Oh wow.
There was very little to no martial arts until towards the end. Maybe the second, third act. I don't know. It was just, it wasn't for me. And then the martial arts was all centered around what seemed to be metal umbrellas, which I'm not sure how historically accurate it is. And they were doing all sorts of crazy martial arts with metal umbrellas, and I had no idea what was going on. I do know what's going on intellectually. I get the plot. I'm not saying that. I just was like, wait, what? Who's this guy? What's happening? And at the end, it's like it did all make sense, but I just felt very unsatisfied. And the fights, I don't even know if there's a memorable fight in this. And so this was just kind of whatever to me. Um, so yeah, I when I think about where I'm gonna rank this movie, I have to rank it. I have to rank it above I saw the TV glow.
So number 16.
So that would be right. So I have to rank it above that because I feel like it's well done and it does have a story and it does end. So it's like we're rationalizing this. Um, and it's like I get the vibe, I get the art style. The end didn't really make sense to me. I kind of just was left with whatever, but I still found it slightly more of an enjoyable experience than I saw the TV glow. That doesn't make it good. It just makes it a little bit, but they're both kind of on the same level for me, but Shadow is slightly higher, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes sense.
Oh
And
yeah.
like I was saying in my reviews, sometimes just kind of having a story helps, but the beginning, middle, and end, as we like to say. But it doesn't make it good.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it good. Oh,
You got to do more than just have the story,
yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, it was not one of the best movies I've seen this year, and I'm glad. I'm probably never going to see that again. But it was free, and it was on a whim. And I take chances with martial arts movies, because sometimes you do find diamonds in the rough. I don't know if you're going to find one this year, but we'll see.
Well, I'm going to bring that up
But
in just a moment.
but that's a story for another time. So yeah, that was the movie Shadow, 2018.
So yeah, I know you mentioned Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Hero. There was a time, obviously, when these are coming out, I was watching a lot of martial art. Not a lot. Like, I didn't get into it as much as you did, or you have, I should say, but in that area, there's a lot. But I do remember House of Flying Dragons, and I have not seen it. And weirdly enough, I think I own it. I don't know if I got it used. I feel like it's part of my collection. So now that you mentioned how good it is, I might have to see it this year if I can get it for free. So you might have just suggested. I don't know if I'm going to do it next week, but
if you own it, you should watch it. That
do
should
you
be
know
the
how
rule
many
of
movies
this.
I own that I haven't seen? Which
If
is
you
not a
own
good
it,
thing,
you
people.
should watch it. Like, let's start there. Like, if you own it, you should watch it. Like, that should be your priority. Just that's my take. Because guess what? It's already free. It's yours already. Nothing's stopping you except putting it in there.
Well,
And
I
just hit
believe I
play.
own it. I gotta go look. Like, it sounds familiar. Anyhow, that's beside the point. I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure, I own it. So
Ah.
maybe we'll be able to. I'll watch it soon so we can talk about this. So you can talk about a good martial arts movie, unless you find one before I watch it. So I don't know if I'll get to it next week, but I'll put it on my list. I have a lot on my list, but I'll put it on my list.
You watch the movies you own. If anybody's learning anything from this, please God,
No, it's like a
you
backlog.
have.
It's like a backlog of games. It's there. It sits there. It's pretty, but at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, yeah, I could probably. I wonder. No, I probably couldn't do this full challenge,
Like
but
games I understand because like sometimes you gotta fucking. I don't have time to play an 80-hour video game. Like, so that's gonna sit there. But you just watched like this killer movie,
oh,
and
I'm going for quality next week. I will say that. I mean, my goal is not to. I'm not going to Tubi for the shit 90 minutes. You know, not next week.
taking a break.
I need to get back into it because, like I said, I wanted to do Wings, and I liked it, but for what it's just, I
Yeah.
need a movie to put me in a good place now. That's where I'm at because I'm like, okay, I just watched these two movies, which one was good, just silent films aren't it, especially when the same music is 12 minutes. And yeah, killer movie, I'm gonna forget. Outside the fact that we watched it, so. But yes, House of I do own it, so I'm gonna let you know. That's now gonna kind of be part of my list here. Don't know next week, so at least I'll bring a happy martial arts movie to you, Soto. You can just be
Hope you
happy.
like it. Imagine if you're like, hey man, I watched that movie you recommended and it sucked.
Well,
That
then
might be
we'll have
better,
a
I
lot.
guess.
We'll have a fun debate on that because you know what, that could happen too. Though I did like Crouching Tiger.
Very
I did
much.
like Hero. I mean, I know it's more comedy. I remember Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle. I love those films.
I
So
love those.
I know it's a
Oh my
different
god, those are
style,
great.
but yeah, I mean, I love
Slapstick.
Jet Li.
Yep.
So anyhow, Soto,